Same thing might happen to The Sims. They get very confused that a grocery store is the thing, and then run out into the street and get hit by a bus because cars don't exist in The Sims 4. Hello, everyone. Little bit of a different kind of video today. If you notice the title, you'll notice that A, I'm talking about a game that I have not played on my channel in many months. Yeah, it looks like my last Sims video was roughly 7 months ago. Yes. So why am I choosing to talk about it right now? Well, A, part of the reason I haven't put out a new video in at least the last few weeks, because I would like to play this game more, is that the game is broken. Yeah. For those that haven't looked at the screen yet or scrolled onto this video without looking at the title, we are talking about The Sims, specifically The Sims 4. And yeah, the game is broken. After Crystal Creations, essentially, to my understanding, it did something to the game that just really messed it up. And they're trying to fix it, but there are some people that the game is working fine, working great, and then other people, like my household, can't get the game to work properly. Definitely can't really record it. I obviously live with iDoriosai, who is well known for his Sims content, and game doesn't work. He has tried recording several videos, and the game refuses to work. It will crash midstream, it will not save files, it will delete save files. But we're not specifically talking about the game right now, though that is my excuse right now for why I haven't had any Sims content on my channel, despite it usually being at least a monthly staple on my channel for the last couple of years. No, today we are talking about the fact that there is a Sims movie coming out. Now, I know what you're saying if you follow myself and iDoriosai. iDoriosai just did a video about this. Yes, a few people have done videos about this. I'm stealing. But also, Dorian and I have some differing ideas on the movie. And if you looked at my title, you can see that I don't exactly have favorable ones. So first of all, I am pulling up the same Screen Rant article that Dorian was looking at in his video that a lot of people have been looking at in all of their content, which was just published like 2 weeks ago. And I gotta say, it's kind of lacking in any real information. It has some lovely pictures of Margot Robbie. It has some pictures of The Sims from different packs that they've done, which is great. But it has literally no story details, aside from the fact that it's going to be meta. And that's about it. It's also obviously being done by Lucky Chap, which is the production company owned by Margot Robbie, as well as a few other big names, Tom Ackerley, Josie McNamara, not McNamara, and Sophia Kerr. So we do have confirmation that there is a Sims movie coming out, which is not the first time that this has happened. In 2007, there was supposed to be a Sims movie that came out, and it got shelved essentially for 12 years until it was officially canceled in 2019. Which is, I'm assuming, how they were able to get the rights to this. Now, I personally would love a Sims movie. I would love it. It would be great. There is so much great lore. There is so much great content out there regarding The Sims. Obviously, it is a whole big, wide community. My biggest issue, and why I feel like I will not be super stoked about seeing this one, is the fact that they said it would be the big scary M word, meta. I don't have a particular problem with meta movies. I think that they're really overdone now. They just don't hit right with me. I did go to film school, and I feel like what I love about movies is that they do have something to say about the world at large, but I want to have my suspension of disbelief fully intact while I'm watching a movie. Just me personally. There are some people that are all about the meta, and that's great for them. However, we already have a meta movie about NPC game characters coming to life and understanding the real world. It was called Free Guy, and it came out in 2021. Yeah, lovely, right? Yeah, a bank teller. When Guy, a bank teller, learns that he's an NPC in a bloodthirsty open world video game, He goes on to become the hero of the story and take responsibility for saving the world. Great. Perfect. I thought the movie was done incredibly well. It made me laugh. I thought that it had something to say. Great. So, what I don't want, what I'm not looking forward to, is having another Free Guy movie and just slapping it with Sims characters. Now, I do have faith that Lucky Chap will be smart enough to not recreate a movie that already exists. However, I am nervous that that's what it's going to be. If they're not going to remake Free Guy, essentially, then I'm nervous that they're going to remake Barbie. Once again, I thoroughly enjoyed Free Guy. I thoroughly enjoyed Barbie. I thought they were great. They had things to say. They were very meta and it was wonderful. But I don't want that to happen to The Sims. And I feel like there are a lot of Simmers out there that also don't want that to happen. So, what I imagine, sorry if my lighting changed, what I imagine is probably going to happen with this because they don't want to remake Free Guy or Barbie is that we're probably going to see, similar to Barbie, someone grow up with The Sims. So The Sims originally came out in 2000, so it's only been around for about 24 years, and the target demographic that it was hitting in 2000 are probably still in like their 30s to 40s right now. So realistically, we can probably see uh, our main character being somewhere between like late 20s to early 40s. Now, because they want to be meta and they want to say something about the world at large, I think the best way that they could go with it, I'm going to adjust my camera. I'm being really animated and talking with my hands, and I hate that you can see my doorknob, but this is the only way that I can like express fully, and you still aren't getting my head cut off. So the idea I feel that they're probably going to convey is the fact that life becomes more challenging, and you realize that it becomes more challenging the more of it that you live. The Sims have life down packed. It's incredibly easy for them. They get paid daily. I think whenever they go to work, they get money that same day, like when they come home. They don't have taxes. They can go from being obese to being the picture of physical fitness in like a day. They can sit down for 12 hours and churn out a bestseller or a masterpiece artwork. These things you can't really do. I mean, they're not impossible to do, but very unlikely that you will do any of those. So I think that they're going to take these kinds of concepts where the Sims have things very easy and very fast paced and translate it into our world a little bit with how, when you're younger, life seems to go by very, very slowly. And then as you go older, life starts to go by very quickly. And when you're young, it sort of looks like life's going to be very easy once you're an adult, once you get to make all of the rules, once you get to do XYZ things. But life always has stipulations. You have jobs, you have bosses, you have friends, you have enemies, you have people that you kind of don't know where they stand in the mix. You have bills, you have hardships that befall you, and not all of them are always easy fixes, and they also don't go away in a certain amount of time. For instance, there are mood buffs in The Sims. So if someone dies, you mourn them for about 3 days, and then you don't really think about it anymore in The Sims. Like your sim doesn't get re sad by it unless you have mods or certain things on. As opposed to in real life, like if someone dies, you get sad about it no matter what point it's at, not just for 3 days. You mourn for as long as you need to mourn, and then it's still sad sometimes. So I think they're going to touch on things like this. So as far as the storytelling aspect of it goes, like I said, we're probably going to see about a millennial to like an older Gen Z that picks up the game, that plays it a little bit, and then I don't think that they're going to do what they did with Barbie fully. I think they're going to be pretty similar, but not fully. Instead of Barbie or any of the Sims characters coming into our world, I think instead it's going to start the opposite way, where someone from our world finds their way into the Sims world. And similar to in Barbie, when, the bad thoughts of reality start to infect Barbie, and then subsequently, like, the patriarchy starts to infect Barbie world, things will start to get a little bit harder in the Sims universe. our hero might teach them how to get around a cup that was left in a hallway or get out of the pool without needing a ladder, and show them that there are relatively simple fixes to very, very simple things. But then something bigger is going to happen. For instance, someone might die. And this could be someone that it could be the tutorial family from the first two games, maybe the first three games. Our character could grow very close with someone from the tutorial family, and then one of them passes away. And while our character is very, very saddened by this, everybody exhausts their buff. Which also the buffs can be done and undone by like potions and outdoing them with other actions and events. Sorry, Dorian apparently made a loud noise out there. Anyway, so the NPCs will see that our main character is still hurt by the fact that one of the NPCs are gone, out, no longer a part of the game. And this will start to take an effect. It'll start to morph and mold the way that the game is interacting with itself, or that the Sims world is interacting with itself. That's generally where I think something like that is going to go. I don't have a full treatment for what I think the Sims movie might be in this context, but that's more so what I'm assuming. I do think it'll go back and forth a little bit, where maybe a Sims character will exit the game and be in the real world and be confused why they can't go on their phone and just become an actress, or why they can't sit down at a computer and just churn out a novel. Who knows? It might be the founding fathers joke. Like, what would happen if the founding fathers were here today? They would all scream, be freaked out by an airplane, and then fall into a manhole or instantly get hit by a bus. Same thing might happen to the Sims. They get very confused that a grocery store is the thing, and then run out into the street and get hit by a bus because cars don't exist in The Sims 4. Now, that's my prediction for what the movie is going to be. But, like I said, I'm the type of person that would very much like a Sims movie. So here's what I would want to see, and what I think a lot of Simmers would want to see. Personally, I think that there needs to be a series. A lot of people think that The Sims deserves to be a show. I think it'd be better animated, but live action would still be fine. There are many of interesting storylines, characters that you can follow that could fill seasons, hours and hours and hours of content to figure out what's up. Talk about the relationship between the Calientes and the Goths. Just talk about the Goths in general. Talk about the Pancake family, that tumultuous marriage that they have, and then the child that got brought into it randomly. The Landgrab family, Johnny Zest. A lot of people don't know that Johnny Zest is Malcolm's brother. Yeah, he was excommunicated from the family because he wanted to be a performer. That's an interesting storyline. That's a whole season. But there's a movie coming out, and that seems to be the direction that they keep wanting to go with the Sims franchise, is a movie, not a TV show, a movie. So I think the movie that everybody would want to see would either be the Bella Goth story or the Princess Cordelia story. Yes, they're, at least in terms of The Sims 4, which does take place in like an alternate universe. I'm not going into all of that lore right now, but there has always been a mystery surrounding Bella Goth and her weird disappearance in, I think, The Sims 3. Mortimer has like sad memories of Bella Goth when he started dating the Calientes. Insane. The lore around it is insane and could definitely make one heck of an interesting and still family friendly movie. Or there's the Princess Cordelia story. Princess Cordelia is scattered throughout the world. She has her own line of furniture. She has a like rustic countryside home. She obviously was important, and if you look in some of the books or some of the artwork in the world, it talks about her a little bit. So I think it would be interesting to have a movie where a character who's not one of the NPCs, just someone in the Sims world, could be a randomly generated one, whatever. Actually, that'd be hilarious or great, just in general, if they took one of the randomly generated skinned people that don't have names It's just one of the original characters that you might end up playing with if you don't care to do create a sim. Taking one of them, giving them a name, and then just having them find out what's up with Princess Cordelia. I think that would be great. Something with the lore. That's what I think every simmer wants. We want a movie about the Sims lore. We want confirmation, concrete, canonical things regarding who did what. There's a storyline kind of between the BFF household where both the girls are very interested in Travis Scott, but not that Travis Scott, this Travis Scott. Keep up. But neither of them want to make a move because they're best friends. These things, these like little things could be sprinkled throughout a movie, though everyone would prefer a series, could be sprinkled into a movie that just confirms and solidifies some lore and really hones in on one and just like goes down that path. Instead, we're getting a meta video, which we got 3 years ago. So, those are just some of my thoughts, some of my opinions. I know that I'm not exactly the authority on Sims right now, especially because I haven't even had it on my channel in 7 months. So that means it hasn't even been on at all in the year of 2020. But nevertheless, I have opinions. I have movies that I would like to see. I have ideas that I would like to play out with The Sims 4. And hearing that there's going to be a meta Barbie-esque movie was not the most exciting. It was not the greatest news. I honestly will probably still go see it, and I will still probably enjoy it. But I feel like I will walk out of the theater knowing that that wasn't the movie that I want. But who knows? There's still plenty of time, and like I said, the only thing that we really have to go on is the Game Rant article. I know there are a couple other articles out there, but all of them kind of say the same thing, which don't confirm characters, don't confirm casting choices, don't confirm a plot line, nothing except that Margot Robbie is attached to it, which is great, but tells me nothing. And that it's going to be meta. Well, let me know what you think. Leave your ideas for the movie in the comments below. Let me know if you're excited for another meta movie. Let me know if you think it's going to be different at all or what your ideas for the movie might be. Also, let me know if you're excited that it's meta or if you really just want to see like a lore storyline. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, or if you're not new and just haven't subscribed yet. Don't forget to leave a like if you thought this was interesting, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!